It's the weekend, so I should be spending it all relaxed and well rested. But today, it's not a good day. Oh, I remember. I remember why there's crazy music. I'm wobbling on my feet. I've barely made it out of bed and into the hallway. I've got an arm wrapped around my stomach. Today is the first day of my period. It's made me almost completely immobilized with pain. It's hard to stand up straight or move at all. The pain shoots through my entire body, making me collapse against the wall. It's throbbing like mad, a fiery pain in my stomach. Oh, this hurts. I take deep breaths to withstand the pain. I see Dimitri around the corner. Valkii, what's wrong? He sounds super worried and he rushes over to me. As much as I want to answer him, the cramps get even worse and it knocks the wind out of me. I'm unable to move, much less spare any oxygen to answer Dimitri. I squeeze my eyes shut, hoping it'll pass soon. Are you okay? Dimitri asks, unabated. Another round of contractions and I helplessly buckle over, sliding against the wall. Dimitri catches me in his arms and holds me close to his chest. I'm calling an ambulance, Dimitri exclaims in a panic. Taking in all the strength that I have, I shake my head, clinging onto his shirt. Please, no, I say with an unsteady voice. What? Why not? You can't even stand up straight. I'm gonna call them. I squeeze my eyes shut and take in another deep breath. I'm on my period, I say loud and clear. The pain retracts a little and my strength is returning slightly. I stand up straight and push myself away from Dimitri's chest. He's looking at me weirdly as if he doesn't know what to do with me. I'm sorry. He looks down at the floor. Is there anything I can do to relieve the pain? Honestly, I didn't expect Dimitri to be so understanding. Then again, I don't know why I expected him to run away yelling ick or something. He's always been considerate and understanding. It's in his nature. Fluffy pillows and some paracetamol, I say. I groan out loud as the nasty pain paralyzes me to my core. My mind goes numb from the pain and briefly my world turns black. Okay, so like... if you're having regular... unless you have like an actual like problem, I don't think you should be having massively like a diagnosed problem like endo or something. I don't think you should be having massively bad periods where you're blacking out. I think you need to go see a doctor if that's happening, because it could be something else doing that. My mind goes numb from the pain, blah blah blah. Okay. Like I'm just, you know, I get quite bad pain, but and sometimes it's bad, like, but never blacking out. When I open my eyes again, I'm in Dimitri's arms, pressed up against his warm chest, but I guess I needed an excuse to do this. I feel myself getting lowered onto my bed, his arms slipping away from me as my head hits the pillow. The pain is still there. I don't think they need to really drive it home that Dimitri is such a good guy. Like, we get it already. And like, I love that. We love, you know, not every guy needs to be problematic in some way. Although, I'm trying to remember this route. Okay. How long? I pause as I cringe in pain. How long was I out for? Dimitri looks at me, his face contorted into an almost permanent frown. He's definitely worried for me. About 30 seconds, give or take. Is this normal for you? He asks in a soft voice. I close my eyes and think, it's been like this ever since I hit 18 for some reason. It was tolerable before, but one day my cramps got so bad that I started passing out from the pain. I'd find myself on the floor, not remembering how I fell, completely blacking out the experience. Oh, don't worry, I'm not dying or anything, I joke, trying to lighten the mood, but yeah, this can happen from time to time every month. You need to go to the doctor. If it suddenly, especially if it like suddenly changed, just go to the doctor, please. Let me go get some medicine, that should help. In the bathroom cabinet, right? Yes, and a glass of water would be nice too. Dimitri gives me a firm nod and disappears from my bedroom. I curl up into a fetal position, hugging my fluffy pillow close to my body. It's embarrassing Dimitri has to see me like this, so weak and powerless, all because of my monthly period. I can hide it from the outside world, but it's hard to hide the pain in my own home, especially when I live with someone else. There's no escape here. I'm glad he's here though, carrying me to bed. A minute later, and Dimitri walks through my door, holding a small white tablet and a glass of water. He sits down on the edge of my bed and hands them over to me. I sit up straight and quickly down the medicine with some water. Thanks, I say with a slight and painful smile. I place the glass on my nightstand and I slump back into my pillow. Now it's time to wait until it kicks in. Anything else? Just tell me, he offers. I give him a weak smile. No, that's alright. All I can do right now is wait for the medicine to work. Thank you for taking me to my room. A sharp pang in my abdomen makes me wince once more. I hate being on my period. I'll make some comfort food. How about that? Dimitri suggests. Seems eager to help. It's kind of cute. It's a little embarrassing and everything, but he's trying to take care of me. I'd like that, I answer. He looks at me, unable to really move away from the bed, as if I will perish if he leaves. He's so concerned about my well-being. I've never had a guy this worried about period cramps before. I'm glad Dimitri is not like other guys. He's just not like other guys. So quirky. What a quirky guy. Not like Alex, whom referred to this as Shark Week. And never so much as lifted a finger to help me. Then Dimitri moves in closer, a bit hesitant and unsure. His fingers reach out for me, stopping for a split second to pull back a tiny bit. Then he finally touches my hair. Dimitri slowly starts to stroke my head, his fingers slipping through my long hair. It's comforting. I close my eyes, savoring the feeling as I lean into his hand. It's making me forget I'm in pain. Dimitri is very gentle. It's such a nice sensation, I don't want him to stop. Hang in there, he says in a gentle tone. Before I know it, Dimitri's hand is nowhere near my head and he's left the room. That nice sense of security he provided only seconds ago slowly fades away. I'm acutely aware of the pain in my abdomen again. I close my eyes as I try to focus on anything but the pain. I must have fallen asleep, as the next time I open my eyes, it's dark in my room. My cramps have disappeared for the most part. The first 2 days are always the worst. So true. But once I manage to get through those days, the rest is a piece of cake. My eyes adjust themselves to the darkness, and I notice a shadowy figure resting on my bed. It's Dimitri, his arms folded across my mattress, resting his head on top of them while he sits on the floor next to my bed. His eyes are closed, and he seems fast asleep. There's a bowl of food on my nightstand. It smells like chicken soup. Dimitri must have cooked for me, but I fell asleep when he got back. Did he stay beside me this entire time until he fell asleep too? Slowly, I take the glasses off of his face and put them next to the bowl of soup. Wouldn't want him breaking his glasses like this, and I don't have the heart to wake him up either. His concern for my well-being is giving me a pleasant, buoyant feeling. It reminds me a little of when we first met, when he handed me his vest so I could cover my wet t-shirt. It's the same back then. He didn't make fun of me like the other guys would. Or in this case, I think it's disgusting to even know I'm on my period. He didn't shame me, instead he showed some compassion and tried to help me out. Dimitri keeps impressing me. I guess it's like, since she had such a bad boyfriend, it's so easy to be impressed by things that should be a given, you know? I lay down on my side, staring at Dimitri's sleeping face. I really do appreciate his kindness. His sleeping face is so sweet. He seems to be drooling over his arm, which makes me chuckle a little. I find myself leaning forward, planting a kiss on his forehead. Thank you, Dimitri. You're so kind to me. I appreciate it. Dimitri stares in his sleep, but doesn't budge from the spot. With a smile on my face, I close my eyes once more and fall back asleep. The next day, I see Dimitri is already cooking breakfast in the kitchen. No, wait, scratch that. I don't think Dimitri is making breakfast. My entire kitchen is covered with chocolates. There are bonbons everywhere. They're littered around every available surface space on my kitchen counter. Oh, hey, you're up. Dimitri greets me with a warm smile. Yes? What is all this? I ask, using my arms to gesture at the state of my kitchen. Dimitri is holding a piping bag and squeezes out some white chocolate onto several bonbons all lined up, so they're all covered in crisscross patterns. It looks really interesting. The way Dimitri handles the bag looks so professional. Sometimes I forget this is Dimitri's future profession. I'm making chocolate for you. I pause to stare at my surroundings. There's like hundreds of bonbons here. Are these all for me? Yes. He picks up a small bunny-shaped bonbon made with white chocolate. Try it. Before I can protest, Dimitri is holding the chocolate near my lips, looking at me with these hopeful eyes. He intends to feed it to me. I part my lips and take the chocolate from his fingers and into my mouth. The chocolate instantly starts to melt on my tongue. The inside has a creamy hazelnut filling. That sounds fucking lovely. It's good. That's really tasty, I compliment him with a smile. Dimitri smiles back at me, happy I'm enjoying the chocolate. But why? I gesture towards the other bonbons lying about. Why so many? Are you trying to make me fat? No, he denies immediately. I just heard that, well, you get these cravings. Is he talking about that stereotype that women get cravings for chocolate when they're on their period? Spoiler alert, I feel like everyone who likes chocolate gets craving for chocolate all the time. I mean, I don't personally get it. I crave it regardless of when I'm on my period. But to think this is the reason Dimitri has filled up my entire kitchen with bonbons, this is going to last me several months. That's how much chocolate is lying around. A week, max. That's so sweet of you, Dimitri, but I don't really get those types of cravings. You didn't have to say that. Yeah, Dimitri squirts some chocolate out of the piping bag by accident. He looks heartbroken. Oh. That's okay, I say hastily. I didn't mean to make him sad. I'll eat these up, no problem. I love chocolate. Thank you for making these. He shyly turns his head away. I didn't know what else to make you feel better. What else to do to make you feel better. Oh, he's pulling at my heartstrings. Dimitri is so worried about me. He's making hundreds of bonbons to make me feel better. How are you feeling right now? Are you in less pain? Much less. You don't really need to worry about it. It's usually the first 2 days that it hurts a lot. Right now, I'm okay. I pick up one of the bonbons that Dimitri was decorating right before I walked into the kitchen and I pop it into my mouth. This one has a raspberry filling on the inside. Less nice. I really love strawberries. They're my favorite, fruit, but, I don't really like it in chocolate. It just doesn't taste like a strawberry to me. I don't know. Goodness, it's like Dimitri could start his own chocolatory. Chocolatory? These are really well made. Dimitri looks around the kitchen with a tiny sigh. I may have been a bit overzealous. Just a bit. I tease him. Here, why don't you try some yourself? I pick up a bonbon, take a step closer, and I hover it near Dimitri's lips. Say, ah. As expected, he acts timid and his face turns pink. When he's the one feeding me, he's okay with it, but when I'm the one feeding him, suddenly he gets all flustered. Heh. Nonetheless, Dimitri leans forward and takes the chocolate off my hands with his pearly white teeth. His blue eyes make contact with mine, holding my gaze as he pulls back and chews on the bonbon. You're right, these are tasty, he agrees. I don't know if I said this line. I had to pause to sneeze. You're right, these are tasty, he agrees. What, you hadn't tried them yet? I say with a chuckle. Oh, it's much more fun. It's much more fun making chocolate for someone than it is to eat them myself. I like making people smile with my sweets. Don't worry, Dimitri, just being yourself is sweet enough that it makes me have a permanent smile stuck to my face. His sweetness will eventually give me cavities. A noble cause. I look around at all of the bonbons, wondering what to do with them. I don't think I can finish these all by myself. Oh, you don't have to. I'm sorry for making so much. I got too into it. No worries. I think I can give some of them to Sarah, maybe, I suggest. Sure. Which flavors does she dislike? I think she hates anything orange-flavored. Madness. Chocolate orange is amazing. Dimitri walks over to a tray of square bonbons. Then she'd probably like these, he says with an innocent smile. Alright, we can keep those separate. You can stop making more now. Let's clean this place up. No, I'm not going to let you work today. It's Sunday and you're still hurting, so please rest. I made this mess. I can also clean it up. Dimitri looks so stubborn as he says this. It's hard to disagree with him. Okay, fine, but let me know if you need my help. I leave Dimitri in the kitchen alone. Several days have passed and my period cramps are most definitely gone. It's still a little embarrassing that Dimitri found me at my most vulnerable, but on the other hand, he was so sweet about it. It's nice being pampered every once in a while. What girl doesn't dream of a man who is understanding about her monthly cramps, to take care of all the housework while she lies in bed recovering? Not that I'm dreaming of Dimitri or anything, especially not of the time when I saw him topless. If I repeat this enough in my head, then I can convince myself this is true. Then the memories will disappear from my mind. However, the mounting of bonbons that Dimitri made showed no sign of disappearing. I've given some to Sarah, as well as left them as snacks for customers in my boutique. They've been quite a hit with them, bringing a smile to their faces once they try them out. Dimitri was quite happy with the result once I told him how much my customers liked them. I even sent him a couple of pictures through Snappic of customers holding the bonbons with smiles on their faces. For the past week, Dimitri and I have been conversing a lot via Snappic. Dimitri will often send me pictures of cats when he's at his part-time job, some of them involving his adorable smiling face. In return, I send back pictures of designs I'm sketching. I've gotten used to it. It's not as bad as I thought it was at all. I guess it can be used for completely innocent reasons. No way, that's crazy. Oh my god, I found a chocolate in my pocket. To be honest, it does make me feel a little happy to be texting someone again. Speaking of texting, I'm lying in bed after the end of the day, but a certain someone decides to reach out to me. You're down the hall from each other. This is just excessive. Feeling better? All better now. Don't hesitate to ask for help if you ever need anything. Relax, it's over, I'm fine. Well, I mean for in the future. I will, no need to worry. If it happens again, I can take care of all the chores and pamper you. What if you get sick? Periods aren't... You can't catch a period. I'll make sure you have all the medicine and chicken soup you need. What about back rubs? Back rubs, shoulder rubs, you name it, I'll provide it. Sounds like heaven. Well, you are an angel after all. Oh, thanks, but I think you should go to sleep, Dimitri. Alright then, good night, Valkii. I feel fuzzy and cozy. I turn off the lights and wrap my blanket around me. Dimitri likes to send me good morning and good night texts, even though we live in the same house. It's a bit silly, but I can't say that I hate it. In fact, I kind of like it. It is kind of cute. It feels nice to have someone say that to me. I definitely don't regret letting Dimitri live here, despite the sometimes awkward encounters we've had. I hold my cell phone close to my body and close my eyes. Yeah, it's nice to have someone who cares enough to wish you a good night. The next day I'm busy at work, tending to my boutique and helping out customers. The bell rings and I look up at my front door. Sarah walks in. Right, I forgot she told me she was coming over today after her job to tell me something. Hey Sarah, I greet her. Hi, I don't know if it was a curse or a blessing in disguise, Valkii, says Sarah. Huh? What are you talking about? Those chocolates you gave me, they were all nasty orange flavoured ones. Oh, I specifically told Dimitri those were the ones Sarah didn't like. Oh, I see how it is. Never mind that, I gave them to Mandy instead and she loved them. She said she wanted them in her wedding. Oh, really? Mandy said that. The chocolates that Dimitri made. She wanted to know which chocolatieri you bought them from. They didn't come from anywhere, Dimitri made them, I explain. I know, I explained it to her, and she wants him to make 500 of those for her wedding. Seriously, that woman has way too much money to spend, I comment offhandedly. But that means she wants to hire Dimitri to do the catering. I don't know if he'd do something like that. He's still a college student, he might not have the time. A poor college student, Sarah stresses. Good point, he'll probably do it. I'll let him know. Just tell him some rich lady wants him to stuff her with bonbons. I'm sure he'll take her up on the offer. As it stands right now, I'm designing Mandy's wedding dress. Sarah is going to do the photography, and now Dimitri will be involved with the wedding as well. All three of us working on a wedding. For some reason, that seems kind of exciting, like this big project we'll all tackle together with our own strengths. I would love for Dimitri to take this opportunity. He said he liked making chocolate anyway. And who knows, this could be an opportunity to get along with Sarah for once. Later that day, I send Dimitri a text about what Sarah came to tell me. I've got something important to talk to you about. That sounds ominous. You can't tell me over text? It's a surprise. You'll see when you get home. I place my phone down, eagerly waiting for Dimitri to come home. An hour later, Dimitri arrives back from college. He immediately changes into his comfy clothes, something which I've seen quite a lot now. I think Dimitri is starting to feel a little more comfortable around the house now. Can't say I hate it. I like the messy look on him. As Dimitri serves dinner a little while later, I decide to break the news. Dimitri, this might sound strange, but I start. Oh no, you don't like the flatbread I made? I know it's a little tough and I added too much garlic. I'm sorry. Dimitri immediately apologizes. He looks distraught that his flatbread wasn't a success. I shake my head. That's not it, Dimitri. Dinner is fine. Dimitri sighs in relief. Still, I could have done better. Those chocolates you gave to Sarah, remember them? Dimitri looks away from me, acting innocent all of a sudden. What about them? When I said that Sarah didn't like orange flavored candy, I really meant to say that she's allergic to them. Huh? Dimitri's eyes grow large in shock. Yeah, so she got quite a reaction when she found out the bonbons I gave her were in fact filled with orange marmalade. Dimitri has pretty much turned to stone. Seriously. Good. Let him feel a little bad for doing it on purpose. I roll my eyes at him. No, I'm joking. Sarah isn't allergic, but I wanted to let you know that you shouldn't mess around with her like that. That's a good point. You don't know what people are allergic to, but I guess when you're like, oh, you wouldn't be like, oh, she doesn't like them. You'd be like, oh, she's allergic to them, because it's a serious thing, so I guess it doesn't really apply here, does it? Dimitri sighs in relief. Goodness, I was scared that I sent her to the hospital or something. Next time, don't lie, I point out. Dimitri gives me a nervous smile and a shrug of his shoulders. By the way, Sarah gave them to Mandy, the wedding dress client. She really loved them and wants to have them at her wedding. My bonbons? Dimitri repeats, a bit confused. Yep, she wants you to make 500 of them for her wedding. What do you say? Do you want to make bonbons again for some money? After the confusion on his face melts away, a bright, cheerful smile replaces it instead. Dimitri's whole face lights up in excitement. You mean someone actually wants me to make them chocolate for their wedding? That is so... Dimitri makes a small fist pump in the air, biting down on his lip. Awesome! Someone likes my chocolate. Dimitri is grinning from ear to ear. Sorry, that's the most exciting news I've had in ages, he quickly mumbles afterwards. No, it's okay. You should be excited. This is a great opportunity for you to get some work experience. Dimitri scratches the back of his head, looking all humble yet thrilled at the same time. He chuckles slightly to himself, like he's reverted to being a little kid who's going crazy over some candy. Does that mean we'd be working on the same wedding? He asks. I nod my head. Yep, you'll be joining me and Sarah. It's kind of bizarre in a way, yet also really cool that we all get to work together. Dimitri looks at me with a tight-lipped smile. I don't care much for working along with Sarah, but it makes me pretty happy to be able to work with you again. Huh? Again? I question loudly, a bit confused. The waffles? Oh, okay. But you also worked together when you made the waffles. Ah, Dimitri flails over his words. You probably forgot. It was when we baked a cake together on my birthday. It's okay if you don't remember. Oh, you mean like that? I say, finally understanding his reference. Dimitri and I did bake a cake that day, so we were technically working together. That was a lot of fun, wasn't it? I say, recalling the fond memory. But it's immediately soured by the fact that I remember getting that anonymous text the very next day, the one that told me that Alex was cheating on me. Dimitri breaks out into a smile. Yeah, he agrees. Then he grows a little bit sentimental. I really do appreciate that you stayed over to celebrate my birthday, he admits with a low voice. It may just be a tiny memory for you, but it really brightened up my day. Thank you, Valkii. I find myself a little embarrassed. I had no idea that day had such an impact on him. I remember feeling bad for him and deciding to stay over after Alex had pretty much dumped me, but I didn't think Dimitri would look back on it so fondly. No problem, I say, feeling a bit awkward. How else am I supposed to respond to that? I didn't realize Dimitri cherished that memory so much. It makes me wonder what other memories he holds dear. More memories of me? Perhaps like that day we first met in the rain? I find myself blushing at my own arrogance. No, Valkii, that's stupid. Dimitri has his own life. I'm simply a little blip on his radar. It's silly to think I may be part of his important memories. I can't wait to start on this, says Dimitri, still beaming with a smile. We'll be a good team. I find myself feeling a bit shy as he says this, but I smile at him nonetheless. Same, it feels like a really fun project to work on with everyone. I'll give you Mandy's contact info after dinner, then you can give her a call yourself. Kind of scary, but also exciting, says Dimitri with a nervous chuckle. This will be the first time someone specifically asked me to bake something for them. I actually know exactly how he's feeling. My first client wasn't Mandy. No, it was someone a couple of years ago who saw my portfolio and wanted me to make a cocktail dress for them. I know that feeling. It's exciting but nerve-wracking at the same time because you don't want to fail and let down your client. Dimitri nods. Exactly. That's the worst kind of feeling, knowing you let someone down. To be honest, I think letting myself down is the worst. To be disappointed in yourself, that's rough. Oh, I didn't think of it. I didn't think of that. Dimitri looks deep in thought. Our sudden serious conversation is disturbed by a text notification from Dimitri's phone. I raise my eyebrows as he takes out his cell phone from his pocket and quickly scans the screen. Someone texting Dimitri? Couldn't be someone from his family, right? It's Kim, my co-worker, he answers me like he knows I was about to ask. He puts his cell phone away, grabbing his fork again to continue eating. She recently got my number, so she's been texting me, he explains. I remain silent as I feel something swirl inside of me, like a tiny wave of nausea. I frown and look down at the table. Oh, alright. It's not at all weird to think co-workers would text each other. Dimitri is a 19-year-old college guy after all. It makes sense that he texts plenty of other people, including other girls. And why do I suddenly feel like I'm not special anymore? I've been texting Dimitri on SnapPic the entire week along with Sarah, and I've been enjoying myself. The realization that Dimitri hasn't just been conversing with me, but other people who might be even closer to him, leaves me feeling irritable. What am I feeling irritable for? This is silly. There's no reason for me to be envious of other people talking to Dimitri. None at all. In fact, I should be encouraging it. Texting a girl, are you? I say, trying to distract myself. Does Dimitri flirt with her, too? No, Valkii, stop these thoughts. Dimitri bites down on his lips, looking nervous. No, it's nothing like that, he says quickly. We're just co-workers. Like co-workers never dated each other, I point out. I don't know why, but even though I'm using a great opportunity to tease Dimitri, I'm feeling more and more down. My mood is plummeting. This is ridiculous. Well, we are just that, says Dimitri in a small voice. Besides, The phone buzzes again, interrupting Dimitri. My eyes flicker over towards his hand. Is he going to check again? Dimitri has this conflicted look on his face and continues to eat his dinner without saying a word. He doesn't look like he's going to check his phone, nor finish the sentence from before. The easygoing atmosphere we had between us suddenly feels thick and heavy. We finish our dinner in silence. Since then, I've been feeling a little awkward around Dimitri. I can't pinpoint why I feel this queasiness, but it won't do me any good dwelling on it. I have work to do after all, hence why I'm meeting Mandy at the crafts store that she owns. It'll be my first time visiting her there. Hey, Valkii. Mandy's behind the counter and waves a little at me. Hi, I greet her. Welcome to my humble crafts shop. I didn't realize running a store like this could fund an entire wedding, I muse out loud. Mandy laughs. Of course it doesn't. I'm only running this because it's a hobby of mine. My fiancé is rich, a trust fund baby, you know? Makes sense. A lot of sense. I was wondering what kind of job Mandy had to be able to throw around so much money. Anyways, I'm hearing good things about you. I raise my eyebrows. Oh? From who? Sarah's been telling me all about your progress, or at least from what she's seen. She's been singing your praises. That young boy, too, Mandy adds. Young boy? Oh, you mean Dimitri. Dimitri reached out to Mandy and together they've made some sort of deal. The gist of it is that Dimitri will now be providing the wedding with some delicious bonbons. Right, that's his name. For some reason I keep forgetting it. My bad. Either way, show me those swatches you've got with you. Eager to get to work, I pull out my binder full of fabric swatches. It contains a lot of silk, satin, some I don't know what that is. I'm not a tailor. Charmise? I don't know. All in different shades of white. I even have some lace samples, as Mandy did mention she's interested in them. As we go through each swatch, with Mandy touching them and stretching them, giving her opinion about it, I explain to her which ones would work best. Not all fabric would be suitable for the design we have in mind. It feels good to discuss the designing progress, since I haven't brainstormed with anyone ever since leaving fashion school. It fills me with a sense of pride and belonging. I'm finally living my dream. I'm good enough that people actually come to me and ask me to make them something. What more could I want? Eventually, Mandy and I have finished and wrap up our meeting. She's picked out the fabric she wants, which means I'm ready to start designing her wedding dress. Ooh. I can't wait to see it. Please send me progress pictures. I love seeing those, she says cheerfully. No problem. I gather all my belongings and get ready to leave. Bye, I wave as I exit the store. The sun is still high in the sky. I've still got plenty of time today to do other things. I wonder, is Dimitri still at work? I check my cell phone real fast. There are no new notifications. I sigh. I wasn't even expecting anything, yet I'm still disappointed. I guess I got a little ahead of myself, thinking perhaps Dimitri would send me another cute kitten picture or something. Maybe he's too busy. Either way, I shouldn't let it get me down. It's not like he's obligated to send me anything. That would be ridiculous. To get my mind off things, I decide to text Sarah instead. My fingers are typing up a message and I'm so engrossed with my phone that I don't even see the streetlight in front of me. Oops. I tumble backwards, holding my forehead with my hands. A pain stings through my entire body. I run into that pole at full speed. You were running? I didn't even notice it. It hurts. I wince at the pain, but quickly look around to see if anyone caught sight of my obliviousness. I think I might die of shame if an acquaintance of mine saw it. Which is when I see a familiar face, Dimitri. He's across the street, too far to have seen what happened to me. I'm wondering what he's doing out here when I notice he's not alone. He's following a girl, holding her hand. It's the employee at the cat cafe, Kim. My blood turns cold and I stop dead in my tracks. Anxiety rises up to dangerous levels in my mind as I'm getting flashbacks of Alex and his cheating ways. Is that Dimitri's... Oh no. Oh no. You're not in a relationship with him. But I understand that she has... I mean, she clearly has, like, feelings that she just hasn't decided to confront yet. I'll see you in the next one.